Hello, Lakeview Preschool families. My name is Jody Rickles. I'm the current principal here at Lakeview Elementary. Normally each spring, we invite the preschool families and their child into Lakeview for a preschool preview. The child gets a little preview of the classroom and the teachers, and the parents get some details about what's coming up in the fall. However, because of the pandemic this year, we're going to try to do this virtually. Bear with us as we're trying to make sure we cover all of our information in these short videos. But I'm going to share a PowerPoint with you as well as interject some videos from the teachers so you get to know them a little bit and they'll give you more information too. Thanks for your patience and enjoy. You are about to start a journey with your child at Lakeview Elementary, and it is, in my opinion, the best elementary in the state of Iowa. We are a caring staff, and it is just going to be a great experience. Even if your child's a little jittery at first, they'll soon settle in with these loving staff members who will treat your child as if he or she is one of their own. So welcome again to Lakeview Elementary's preschool as well as to our Lakeview Elementary family. At Lakeview Elementary, we have 3 classrooms. Each classroom is equipped similarly. We name them Preschool A or PKA, PKB, and PKC. Of course, the 3 teachers have their own style, but as far as what is available to your child to enable them to learn to the best of their potential, all 3 classrooms have similar items and, of course, the same curriculum that we follow. In addition to the teachers, which I'll mention in a moment, the principal next year is going to be Mrs. Tabor. I am retiring, and so Mrs. Tabor is taking over the reins here at Lakeview. The wonderful thing about Mrs. Tabor is she's also a preschool parent. Her son Lucas is going to be starting in one of the classrooms in the fall, just like your child is. So she has a lot in common and has a lot of interest in making sure that preschool operates at its finest. When you need to contact the school, chances are Mrs. Leidy or Mrs. Stuckey in the office answer the phone or answer your emails. They are amazing secretaries and really help keep the school running top notch. I'm sure you'll get to know them and know how wonderful they are, just like we all do. Miss Heather, Miss Stephanie, and Miss Keela, otherwise known as Heather Wyjack, Stephanie Jensen, and Keela Eulenkamp, are the 3 teachers in preschool. They're going to join on this virtual preschool preview with some additional information, so you'll get at least a picture of them, a video of them, and know who they are as your child is assigned to their classroom. In addition to the teachers in the classroom, there's an associate in each classroom, a program associate. We follow the Department of Education as well as the Department of Human Services, DHS, recommendations that we are to have 1 adult per every 10 children in the classroom. Therefore, with the teacher, there needs to be an associate to help out. Because we are an integrated program, meaning that we have special needs students as well as generally or typically developing students in the classroom, sometimes those children need an associate to help with their various needs that have to be met during the day. And so there may be more than just the 2 adults, the teacher and the associate. There may be another special education associate in the room as well. In addition, your child will be gaining some information and interacting with our school counselor, Ms. Megan Amundsen. The students refer to her as Miss A, and she'll come into the classroom and help your child with social, emotional, and behavioral lessons to help them understand and develop into these wonderful people that they are going to be, of course. Also, if you or your family is going through any events or life changes, Miss A helps children adjust to that, as well as if school seems to be particularly upsetting to them at any time for whatever reason, Miss A is a great person to reach out to. Mrs. Elijah is our school nurse, and she sees your children for a number of reasons, sometimes for those bumps and bruises that happen during the day, but also you should have received the packet of health forms that need to be returned to school. That would come back to Mrs. Elijah. Mrs. Day is someone else that your child will see in the media center. She's the associate that helps Mrs. Fluhat, our media specialist, our librarian. Miss Fluhat serves our entire district, so preschool through 12th grade. So she's a busy lady, and she has associates in each building, like Mrs. Day, that help with the book checkout and reading to students. In addition to all of those wonderful adults that I've talked about in the list above, there may be various other staff members that come to us from the Area Education Association, the AEA. Grant Wood AEA is the one assigned to our area, and they have school psychologists or social workers or occupational therapists that come for a variety of different reasons. And someday your child might say, well, Miss Monica was in the room today, and you'll say, oh my goodness, I don't know a Miss Monica. And it may be just one of those staff members from Grant Wood helping another student or helping the teacher make some adjustments in their classroom. Feel free to reach out and ask, of course, if you have a question about that. I talked about Miss Elijah, our school nurse. Here she is. She is the one who wants us to complete those health forms by August 1st. If your child takes medication for any reason, please make sure that Miss Elijah and the teacher know about that. We do have an illness policy that can be read in detail in our Lakeview handbook, but of course Miss Elijah helps with any illness or helping understand that illness policy. If your child is injured at school, Miss Elijah will give you a personal call. We want you to know what's going on, and she'll make sure to involve you in any decisions about that injury. And she's just a wonderful resource for families, no matter what kind of need you have. She's a great person to talk to and can certainly direct you in the right place if you need that. There's Mrs. Day. She'll read and help your child in the media center. Mrs. Fluha is the librarian, like I said, and she helps Mrs. Day with the library and getting things in order there and helping know what's appropriate literature for preschool. I talked to you about the Grant Wood staff. Here's some things that they do. Also, your child might be involved with the Grant Wood staff if they are a student who maybe doesn't have special needs but is a great role model for a student that does have some other extra needs. So they might want them to be part of a small group as an exemplar student, showing how to share or take turns in a great way because your child does that. One of the things that often parents say, well, what can I do? I want my child to be ready for preschool. And one of the best things you can do is to have your child explore books, but also to read to your child. We say, make sure you read, read, read. It's the best thing you can do for all of these ideas that are listed here, but also we know that research shows that children who are read to and have an experience with books before they're 5 have an enormous advantage, vocabulary, word development, experience-wise, over children who don't have that great exploration of books. So make sure that if you do nothing else, just take those 20 minutes a day if you can. More times than not, I hope you can take the 20 minutes a day and make it a very special time. My children are currently adults, and they think back to their childhood, and so many times what they bring up is a special book that we shared, Or sometimes they'll remember nights when we were laying in bed reading, and then that's when the book we read reminded them of something during the day, and we could talk and um, communicate really well around that reading time. So I just really encourage you to read, and read a lot to your child. Now I'm going to cut over to Miss Stephanie's video in which she'll talk to you about what happens in a typical, if there really is one of those, a typical preschooler's day at Lakeview.
Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie Jensen and I am one of the preschool teachers here at Lakeview Elementary School. This upcoming school year will be my 8th year teaching altogether, and it will be my 6th year teaching here for the Solon Community School District. I am here to talk to you today a little bit about our schedule, our start times, end times, our Friday no school days, and just give you a sense of what your preschooler's day would look like here at Lakeview. So preschool start time is the exact same as the rest of Lakeview. Students can start coming in the doors at 7:55. That is also when our preschool classroom doors will open. So if you arrive a few minutes before 7:55, please know that you'll have to wait with your student until we open up our doors at 7:55. And then by 8:15, announcements are starting, and by 8:20, we've put in lunch count and attendance. So you have that 15, 20-minute window there to bring your preschooler and drop them off. What our mornings kind of look like is they come into our classrooms and they follow their morning routine, and then they get started on a review skill such as writing their name, tracing, cutting, things that they already know how to do but they need more repetition with. And then after that is over, they get to have a soft start where they play with their friends and have a little social interaction time. So my recommendation to parents is always shoot for that 8 o'clock time. That way, if you're a little early or a little late, you still have plenty of wiggle room, and your preschooler has plenty of time to say their goodbyes, adjust for the morning, and get quality time in the morning with their peers and have a little relaxed playtime. Next, I will show you what our preschool schedule looks like so that you have an understanding of what your child will do every day. As you can see on our schedule, your student gets 3 read alouds throughout the course of the day, 2 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. However, our morning is when we present the primary core instruction to your children at that small group academic learning and during our morning meeting time. So I always recommend to parents that if your child has an appointment, trying to schedule it in the afternoon would be best. You can also see that we have 1 hour of center time, which is learning through play. And then there are also 2 recess times, 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. Bathroom times have been spaced out throughout the day for convenience for your children. However, they can go whenever needed. After lunch, we also have a nap time. At the start of the year, nap time is usually an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes to allow your child plenty of rest. They are adjusting to their new schedule, and oftentimes that can be a lot on their little bodies. If your child does not fall asleep, there's no need to worry. We hand out books after 30 minutes and coloring and writing journals. There is also the opportunity for them to earn additional iPad time if they're still awake as well. If you look at the bottom of our schedule, you can see that we dismiss at 3:05, just like the rest of the school district. And Thursdays are early dismissal days for the entire district. And on those days, we also dismiss at 1:39. So as I said, we start and end at the exact same time as the rest of the district. The last thing I wanted to chat with you about today is our No Preschool Friday dates. You should have gotten a little orange slip of paper in the mail with the rest of your preschool information that had these dates listed. If you did not get this orange slip by mistake, please contact us right away and we can get you those dates as soon as possible. We also sent an email just outlining some ideas for what to do with your preschooler on these days because the rest of the district, K-12, does have school. So if for some reason you're having difficulties or you need some help or guidance on what to do with your preschooler on these days, please let us know how we can help. However, we do appreciate your flexibility with these dates because the preschool teachers, myself and Heather and Miss Keela, will be using these days to attend professional development, lesson plan, restock materials, and so much more. So we really appreciate your flexibility with that. We will also always remind you well in advance of the no preschool dates coming up. Lastly, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. We know that these are very uncertain times, so if you have any questions you need clarified, please reach out. We're always here to help.
So you learned a little bit more about the schedule and what happens in preschool on a daily basis from Miss Stephanie. We also use that creative curriculum, and here are the bullet points of what might occur during the day. One activity might include many of these bullet points. Um, in, in our curriculum, we make sure we document. It can be in writing or in pictures of what your child is doing to show that they are making growth in each of these areas. If you pop into preschool someday, you may say, I thought you said they were going to be learning. All I see them doing is playing. Well, it is through play that children learn, and you can see that many concepts, like number concepts, they may be writing on a chalkboard, or their large motor skills. They're out at recess developing those. It's fun for students, but we also encourage them and take note of what they are really good at and what they need to work on. The following are some pictures of those times. Here's a dress-up uh, station within the classroom. They take turns, they make believe, they create scenarios, they are sharing and taking turns, like I said, and growing emotionally and socially within this play that they are doing as they dress up. They also may really like to write with their purple marker, but what we see is that their fine motor skills are developing. We like to see them cut and glue and write. We can encourage them to write with chalk or markers or crayons or pencils or pens just to make sure that those skills are developing. Of course, there's large motor skills too. That all happens at recess. We may want them to run and skip and jump. They play, and that's all they see it as. But we notice, because of the skills of our awesome kindergarten or preschool team, they notice what children need to work on too with that whole physical development. Of course, there's language development. As they work in groups, they ask questions, they borrow materials, they put their work together to create one unit. So then they have to answer questions and explain what they're doing and help another student. It all comes out in that language and how they use it to communicate. Of course, in large group, as well as many other times during the day, we are covering those educational fundamentals, letters, numbers, reading, days of the week, music, all important as we share in large group and the teacher brings new and fun ideas so that their learning continues every single hour of every day. Our preschool program provides snack. You do not need to provide that. We are very consciously aware of health needs in case there's some allergies or other things that we need to pay attention to as the children take part voluntarily. If they would feel hungry, they may take part in snack once in the morning and once in the afternoon. Don't pass judgment on this picture. It was green eggs and ham day. So it does look a little odd, but we have nutritious snacks. Not that this wasn't nutritious, but it was a unique day. But we have nutritious snacks that follow the wellness policy of the district, and those are provided for your child. Of course, you'll get some reports, and we use Teaching Strategies Gold to guide our assessments in those areas. We report out strengths, and we report out things that need some attention for your child's development. These will be distributed to you 3 times a year at conference time and then at the end of the year. And the teachers will talk to you about those all along the way. There will be, most likely, if the health concern for our state has subsided, we will most likely have a time when you can bring your child to the school and they can become familiar with their classroom. We call that at Lakeview Unpack Your Backpack Night. And preschool really doesn't have a lot to unpack. Other children in our school have supplies to unpack, but usually preschool does not. But we would encourage you to come anyway to familiarize yourself as well as your child with the classroom and the school. And we also have some home visits in August. We'll give you more details in a minute on that. And now, Miss Keela will talk to you about arriving and dismissing and how that works for preschool.
Hi, my name is Keela Eulenkamp, and I am the preschool teacher in Preschool C. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about parent drop-off and pickup procedures here at Lakeview. When you come to drop your child off in the morning, we ask that you park in the front parking lot and walk your child to their classroom. Once you get to the preschool commons, there is a book outside each classroom in the commons. We ask that you walk your child to their classroom and sign them in the book outside your classroom. At the book, you'll find your child's name, you'll write down the time that you drop them off, and then you'll sign or initial your name. Then you can walk into the classroom and we can start our day. At the end of the day, for pickup procedures, if you choose to do parent pickup, we have a map to share with you that kind of shows the process of coming to pick up your child. This is Racine Road at the back of the Lakeview School, and it kind of runs along the Solon Parks and Recreation Center too. We ask that when you come, you enter through where the second stop sign is. So you'll come and drive either from Main Street or past the middle school and high school, and you'll come enter through this second entrance to Lakeview. You'll pull in and you'll drive up through the parking lot. This just ensures that the line is through the parking lot and not on the road blocking any of the traffic coming from the high school or the middle school. Once you get in line, the first car will come around and drive up to this first basketball hoop by the sidewalk and closest to the parking lot to the school. This is where we will be located, where it says in this yellow box, preschoolers and staff. And once we see that there's 3 cars pulled up by the area that we are, once we see that your car is in park, we will walk your child to the car and wait for you to get out and load your child into their seat. Once you have loaded your child and are back in your car ready to go, if car 1 or car 2 is not ready at that point, we ask if your car 3, please don't pull out and try and pass the 2 cars in front of you. Once car 1 is ready, they will pull through and exit the same way that they entered into the parking lot. And then the rest of the line can follow and drive around the loop. We will load at least 3 to 5 kids at a time, but we do ask that you get out and put your child into the car and buckle them into their seat. We are looking forward to meeting your children soon, and we cannot wait for the year to start in August. See you soon.
You heard a lot of information about arrival and dismissal. If you have an older sibling, they certainly can meet your preschooler and dismiss together and get picked up together. One thing that's a question that's asked often is whether your child can ride the school bus. That is not allowed. The state of Iowa does not allow a student until they're in kindergarten to ride the school bus. Therefore, there has to be a parent drop-off and pickup, or some other family member or a daycare provider of some sort picking up or dropping off each day for preschoolers. Another event that happens in August is a home visit by your child's teacher. They will coordinate that with you personally through email or a phone call, but here to tell you a little bit more about it is Miss Heather.
My name's Heather Wyjack, and I'm one of the early childhood special education teachers here at Lakeview. One of the great things about our preschool program at Lakeview is that we are part of the Iowa Quality Preschool Program grant. This program follows many guidelines and standards for a successful preschool experience for you and your child. Some of the expectations include using Creative Curriculum Gold, which is a curriculum that focuses on many skills that are observed in the classroom, including social emotional skills, literacy, science, math, and social studies, just to name a few. We also tailor our daily schedule to allow students to learn in all areas of the classroom. We incorporate small group time, large group, outdoor learning, and choice time into our day. During choice time, the children are encouraged to learn through play in many different centers in our classroom. But one of the most beneficial expectations is that our preschool teachers have home visits with each individual child who are in our classroom prior to the school year starting. This is usually just a short 20 to 30-minute visit to your home to give parents more classroom information and go over the preschool packet given out on Unpack Your Backpack Night. It also allows teachers the opportunity to answer any questions you may have and to get a little bit of one-on-one time with your child before the school year starts. It's always fun to end the visit with a quick game, story, or sharing time, and it helps me get to know your child just a little bit more. Home visits are an optional expectation for parents, but they're highly encouraged as it's a great homeschool connection for teachers, families, but most importantly, the students. We are more than welcome to set up a visit for you and your child in the classroom if that makes you feel more comfortable. Please know that these home visits are scheduled for the first 2 days of school, August 24th and 25th, so mark your calendars now. Preschool students do not attend school on these days to provide their teachers time to meet with each individual student throughout the day. Prior to the first week of school, teachers will be sending you an email to sign up for a time that works to visit your family on those dates. Please remember that they are scheduled throughout the first 2 days of school, August 24th and 25th, and afternoon times do fill up quickly, so plan accordingly and let us know if you have any questions. I look forward to meeting you all soon, and welcome to Lakeview.
And of course, all other events throughout the school year follow the school calendar. So whatever the school decides about the health concerns with the pandemic, or just regular school holidays, school early dismissals every Thursday, school dismissals for winter break or spring break, those the preschool at Lakeview follows as well. The 2020-2021 calendar, school calendar, can be found online. That website is solon.k12.ia.us. On that webpage, you can click on the calendars for the district and find out when we are dismissing, what days there will be vacation, and make arrangements for your child. Just some last minute dates so that it's clear. Please remember to complete and return the questionnaire that's attached to this email that you received. We will let you know which class, PKA, PKB, or PKC, that your child will be assigned to that first week of June. You'll receive this via the email system from our school. On August 1st, the district has online registration. We will need you to complete that registration as well. August 1st also marks the day when all the health forms are due. Sometime in August, there will be a date set for the Unpack Your Backpack Night activity. It's usually in the evening, and I highly encourage you to come, even if your child has very little to unpack, just so that, again, they familiarize themselves with the building and their teacher. On August 24th, the entire rest of the Solon School District will start school. That's a Monday, August 24th. Preschool does not start until 2 days later, August 26th. They use the 24th and the 25th to schedule all of the home visits with the families. Please look for emails coming from us on those days as well. Thank you for making it clear to the end of our virtual preschool preview. Again, Lakeview is a wonderful place. I hope you reach out to any of the teachers, to me, Mrs. Rickles, or to next year's principal, Mrs. Tabor. If you have questions, we would be happy to answer them, and we want to make this transition to school, to preschool for your child, the smoothest it can be. Please let us know if there's anything we can do. And again, thanks for joining us in our preview of Lakeview Preschool 2020-2021.